Good evening and welcome to our Tuesday Night Live. We're so glad you're here. This live will begin shortly, and we're excited to share this journey with you. This is a space of kindness and encouragement, so let's be welcoming to everyone looking to better themselves. If you have questions, drop them in the chat or use the super chat to make sure it gets addressed. Thank you for being a part of our community. Let's make it a great night. Welcome everybody to Tuesday Night Live. Tonight is just she and myself because Chris Cook in Nashville is not doing his thing tonight. And we know that the Bears are on the low carb cruise up in Alaska. So it's just us and you guys. Oh my goodness. So awesome to be here. I'm going to go ahead.
The blankie.
She's got her blanket. So, I mean,
so cold in here.
It's so cold because it's officially summer. The sun is out. The kids are restless. Our kid is restless. You know what I mean? Our boys are doofenshmirtz.
They are doofenshmirtzy.
You know, and we know we're not alone in this, right? I mean, if you have kids, a lot of you guys don't have kids anymore. I mean, you still do, but you know what I mean? At home, pressing you.
Set that over there.
Just hold on.
Fine.
Just you can look at things.
Fine then.
Help my associate producer.
Is that what my job is?
Assistant producer.
Assistant associate? No.
No. But basically what we're trying to do tonight is talk about how our struggles continue trying to maintain a semblance of triple B&E and the summer with everything going on and me being in my feelings sometimes and trying to navigate that. And
yeah,
it's not always pretty, and we feel our best when we do it right.
And I've not behaved. I've been bad.
Oh my goodness.
I don't remember what it was I had I don't remember what I ate the other day, but it definitely wasn't triple B&E.
Right.
I was like, screw it. But tomorrow is Wednesday, and we're supposed to play pickleball with the girls. So there will be that. And then that's not until evening. And then Thursday, I promised my son I would go to the gym with him. Now, I don't know if you know me at all, but exercising in public is not something I'm generally willing to do. I am not a gym type of person. I'm more of a let's go play a game. Let's go play pickleball. Let's play softball. Let's do something physical. But exercising and working out at a gym is not generally my thing. But I told him I would go. So we're going to see how that goes.
He's going to make me go too, isn't he?
He does want you to go too.
I got to find shoes. I don't even have any shoes for the gym.
Hopefully I don't damage myself. That's the big plan because I work Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So as long as I'm not hurting, it'll be fine. Right?
Carrie's in the house. He says, I know about struggles. We had a rainstorm yesterday, and if rain had feet, it would have kicked me good. Almost 4 inches of rain in my area. My small street disappeared. The sewer drain went under.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, the water drained, and then we were fine.
Well, glad you were fine. It has been raining a lot up here, too. Not that much, but it has been raining a lot up here. Somebody I was watching who's in a state near ours was saying about all the rain happening, and they said it's been raining since 2002. That's how they feel about it. So
They live in Seattle.
No, they're in Tennessee.
Oh yeah, Tennessee.
We are on that same pathway, basically. If it's raining here, it's either going to rain in Tennessee or already did rain in Tennessee. Anywho. Oh, I'm sorry. And I'm covered in like sticky stuff because I've been working on eBay and cleaning up a bunch of the things so I've taken it upon myself to try to go through a lot of the extra stuff that I have. So I have a large eBay room and I have shelves that are full of product that's listed. And then in the middle of the room, I have boxes sort of stacked on top of each other, filled with things that for whatever reason at the time I didn't want to get to. So I threw it in a box and stacked it up on another box and stacked it on another box and put it away.
Let me translate that for her. But before I do, I'm going to say, Carrie says root beer, the only drink that can be flat and bubbly. Talk about multi-talented. But let's go ahead and put that aside for just a moment. I want to translate what she just said because she will come home with 3, 4, 5 bags of stuff. Now, here's the deal. She comes home with the new shiny stuff, and that takes precedent over the old, not as shiny stuff that she had before. So those things go in boxes, and over time, the last 10 plus years.
I have to step away for a second.
Okay. Last 10 plus years or so, that's all kind of accumulated. So she got a phone call, so she'll be back here in a little bit. Let's see. Sherry's in the house. Hello, all. I will be listening while in the pool. Well, that's the best place to watch us is in the pool. In the pool.
Okay, so I got a phone call, but I will call her back in a little bit, except for I lost the magnet down my shirt. So give me a sec.
Do you want me to help find it?
I'm good.
Rude.
Oh, it's literally, hang on, hold that. Got it. Never mind.
Never wants my help when I offer it.
You're offering help in a different manner than anyone else on the interweb would like to know or see.
Whatever. I'm a nice person, okay? Always trying to offer help.
Is that it?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, what was your translation?
So let me finish this real quick. She said that they're in the pool. It's 107 in the shade on our patio. It's a dry heat, but it's like opening an oven door, but she's watching from the pool. So that's fantastic.
It's a dry heat, as in all of the water in your body is going to dry out.
Mm-hmm. So the translation again is the fact that she will come home whenever she goes to Goodwill with 3 to 4 to 5 bags of stuff, and all these things go in the middle. Like, well, okay, so let's be real. So there's a big chunk in the middle that takes. It's not really the middle; it's the whole room, because like there's like on one side of the room over here, there's like a dresser that's got tape and shipping supplies in it, and there's nary a path to get through there. That's where the stuff starts, okay? And then that stuff goes all the way to the window, to the wall. You know where the sweat goes. And all the way out, and it starts to encroach ever so slowly every once in a while to the stairs, to where, like, as you're coming up the stairs, it's coming to get you. It's like, I'm here, Martha. And then, like, and then I'm not done. And then and then eventually she has to start to, she gets out her whip and like whips it back. And then it just goes high, and then it's wide, and then it goes all the way around to where her desk is, where she lists, and it goes all the way. There's like a small path that she can get to her desk, and a small path that she can get to all the stuff that's listed. And then it's like encroaching. It's like, picture it. It's like
Sicily,
1923. You're in like the catacombs, and the walls are closing in on you, man.
It's not. I mean, it is bad.
It's like 7 feet tall, and then like
the kids call it a hoarderpreneurship.
She is an entrepreneur.
So I
very talented, and I'm not throwing any shade at her whatsoever. But I just want to make sure you understand what we're dealing with.
I buy stuff that I know has value, but I don't necessarily want to mess with it. Like that's so like I'll buy a lot of stuff, like things, not clothes, things, and I'm like, oh, this is worth a lot of money. Oh, I'm paying $1 for it. I can get 40 out of it. Wonderful. So I buy it, and then I look at it and I go, I'm gonna have to take the sticker off. I'm gonna have to clean it. I'm going to have to store it. I just put it in a box and stack it on another box. I don't have to worry about it right now. I'll get to that later because the stuff and the things are not my favorite. I prefer doing clothes. And clothes, have always tried to do like, it's summer, I should be listing summer things. Near the end of July, I should start listing fall winter items. I try to stay
Getting
on
Halloween
season with
stuff
it.
up and
Right,
Christmas,
right.
yeah.
I try to get on season with it. So then when I'm past the season, I will often like fold up whatever and throw it in a box or put it in a bag, say, oh, this isn't good until winter, and then just put it away. But I do it pretty part-time. So I do it pretty part-time. So when I'm not in the mood to work, I just don't. And it just sits there.
But there was like a 2-week period where like she would be in there for like 20, 30 minutes. She'd be like, do you want to take a nap?
Yeah, because I just didn't want to do it. Well, I mean, I work at my job, and then I do this to basically anything extra that my job doesn't cover. And so, I feel like I'm constantly working, and it's a stress relief to do the shopping. It is not a stress relief to do the rest of the work that goes along with it.
But she does enjoy it.
I do enjoy it, but it's not easy, and it's not without actual work. Like you actually have to work at the job. A lot of times I just don't want to. But so I have started going through those older boxes to get rid of stuff and started limiting my shopping. I've gone out once this month. So I'm working on that because I want to not, I want to not hoard. When I'm going back through boxes of stuff, like I went through 2 giant boxes of things last night, and unfortunately, well, one of the things has to just be donated. Like it's just of no value at this point. It's just garbage. And then some of the other things, like they still have some value, but whereas I used to maybe be able to sell it for $30 or $40, now it's probably going to be $15 to $20. So it's my own fault for thinking the shiny new is that much better than the old. And it's my own fault for trying to, I know that selling on eBay, seasons don't matter. People buy stuff all year round. They buy Christmas in the middle of July. They buy Easter in the middle of, the snow-filled January. There's no rhyme or reason to it. So I should not be doing these things. But I've been doing it for 20 years. I literally have some things on my shelves that have been there probably 19 of those 20 years.
Like all that stuff from episode 1.
Oh, those were from my nephew's 5th birthday party. I just got them listed. Just to let you know how old my nephew is now, he is 29. So I had those. I didn't buy them for his 5th birthday party, but I got them a year or 2 after when my sister was moving, and she was like, "What do you want? Do you want these? I'm going to throw them out." Yeah, just listed them. So just saying.
They're on a yacht right now.
They are on a yacht right now, my sister and her family. Anywho, let's talk about other things, not my shopping problems.
So Carrie says, I got a call from the VA for a consult they put in to have a call on Thursday to see what I have to do next. The hospital is not far from the house for the hernia and the stones.
Nice.
My lower back for the VA says is fine. It's flared up, and I have been using my Max Freeze, and I'm going through it a lot. I can only use it 4 times a day.
I'm sorry the VA makes everything so complicated.
Mm-hmm.
You'd think they would do better for our veterans.
Lynn is here, dear.
Hello, Lynn.
Tanya is here. She says, ooh, it's Tuesday night.
Woo, woo, Tuesday.
Matt Franklin is in the house. Hey, everybody.
Hello.
How is the world of Disney, my friend?
We are jealous.
Yes.
I
Well,
was
I mean,
just
he
looking at.
works there.
I know.
Yeah.
I was just looking up Haunted Mansion gear, toys,
Did you
clothes,
the stuff
bags.
that I sent you, the Christmas ornaments that are going to release in July?
No, I didn't see that.
I sent it to you probably on Instagram.
Well, I will be looking at that.
Yeah.
But what
Haunted Mansion.
What I was looking at is I have one Dooney and Burke Haunted Mansion purse. It's the smaller one. And I really want the large tote in the purple color, but it very rarely gets listed on any of the used sites. And when it does, people want like $400 to $500 for it. And I like it. I do. But that's a lot of money.
Yeah, for Christmas one year I bought you the little one.
Yes.
Because I know how much she loves the Haunted Mansion.
I do, and I've never used it because I'm worried I'm going to damage it and it's going to hurt my feelings if it gets ruined. So it's in my closet and I just look at it.
But that's like one of those things, like I bought my mom. My mom wanted so much when I first started working like a real job. She wanted a mother's ring with her birthstone, my birthstone, and Leaky's birthstone.
Yeah.
And I bought it for her. And she never wanted to wear it. She kept it put up forever and ever. And so, like, I kind of feel like you buy those things for those ones you love, and they're going to hide it away because they're going to squirrel it away.
It's so precious.
Yeah. That's her with that bag. And one of these days, I'll buy her the big one. And I'll buy a replica mansion for her, too, so we can live in that.
They actually have a Lego one on Mercari for $20 sealed. I really thought about buying it.
It's only $20?
It is, but it's also Lego, which means we'd have to give it to the boy to let him put it together.
No, he wouldn't.
And he wouldn't give it back.
No, we wouldn't even tell him it existed. Because our boy he's into Lego when he was younger. When I kind of became into the fold, he was in that, like, look what I can build stage. Yeah. And then he kind of fell out of it, and then we got rid of all the Legos. And
he was very upset that I got rid of all the Legos, even though he was like 17 at the time, 17 or 18.
Now he's gotten back into it with like Star Wars Legos and things like that.
Building things that he likes and wants to have. I mean, and I don't have a problem with that. He actually takes the time to build it, to follow the direction, etc.
And they do hold their value.
Yeah. When he was younger and had Legos, it was all the not following the directions and building Lego sets. It was being a kid and playing and creating stuff from your own mind. And it ended up being, let's see how many booby traps we can set across the floor for mom and see if she can break her neck trying to, step on the Legos. So, but he really threw an absolute fit when I got rid of the Legos, but he freaking hadn't touched them in years and they were sitting in a box getting dusty. And I sold those puppies and I made a lot of money.
You sell them by the pound.
I sold a large lot of the bricks for a specific price. Then I sold the land pieces for in groups of same colors for different prices. And then I sold the minifigures in a lot for a different price. So I think all together I made about $600 or $700 reselling all of their Legos. And when I had purchased, they'd gotten several sets throughout the years, but I also had purchased a large lot at a yard sale for, I think it ended up being like $20 for probably 40 pounds of Legos. So I did pretty good back in the day with that. But now I've gotten a little hoardish.
Amy's here.
Hi, Amy.
Our good friend Amy is here.
Oh, it's so cold. My feet are frozen.
And Sean, another good friend of the channel, is here. Hello, Sean.
Hello.
And Shell, I hope you're doing wonderful. How's the new job going, my friend? Because he retired and got a new job.
That's how retirement works.
Right, that's how retirement's supposed to work.
At least now, in this year, in this life.
Evelyn! She's on a boat!
Evelyn!
She's on a boat. I hope she didn't forget her flippy floppies.
I'm on a boat.
I'm on a boat, snitch.
It does not say
whatever.
Stitch.
Yes, I'm on a boat, Stitch. Anyway, Cindy is here. Hello, Cindy.
Hi, Cindy.
She was like, are you going to be late? And I'm like, probably.
Oh, hell.
Oh, hell no.
Love it. Love it.
Lynn says I have the best intro.
He spent a lot of time on making that just how he wanted it.
I'm always making little intros. I try. I still need to do my Saturday one. I need to like make sure that was exactly how I want it. I'm not quite sure I like it that much. If you haven't watched Saturdays, it's a hard watch, but give it a chance. It's a couple minutes in, it gets better. It gets a little more smooth.
What did you do on Saturday?
That live with John.
Yeah, I hear you.
Matt says hello to Cindy and Evelyn, and Evelyn says currently docked in Juneau, Alaska. Juneau, Alaska. Then that's not how you spell Juneau.
That is how you spell Juneau, Alaska.
Juneau. Wah, 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 wah.
It is the what's his name? Juneau.
Juneau.
Yes, it's that spelling.
Frankenstein never scared me. Marsupials did.
What is his name? Christopher Walken.
Yeah, it's not Anthony Watkins.
No, Christopher Walken.
Anthony Watkins. It's Toes Day. You don't want to see my toes.
No.
But if you want to see my toes, you know the link.
My toes are bundled in their fuzzy slippers.
Mm-hmm. Matt says roasting hot down here in Orlando. Was mid-90s with humidity to put it around 100 degrees today.
Ew. That's the only thing about Florida is that it's just hotter Indiana.
Yeah.
Like it gets hot and muggy and gross
and
here.
It smells like mud.
But Florida, it gets hot and muggy and gross and just worse.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little worse, but just enough worse where you're like, if I'm not on a beach, I don't want to be here.
Carrie says, I wish it was cold in my house. It holds heat in the summer. I did put up aluminum foil, shiny side to deflect the heat from the house, and with the rain, it has been a little better. Okay.
That's good. We went about 8 years without air conditioning. And I would just put fans in the wherever we were going to be. So if we were in the living room, there were one fan facing in, one fan facing out to try to help circulate the air as best as possible. But then if we were going to be upstairs, we all stayed in one room. So one fan in, one fan out, doing the best that we could. During the summertime, the kids would often sleep downstairs because it was just cooler downstairs. But I slept upstairs. So.
And then for a while, we went and we got the
room
the window air conditioner we had one in our room and one down here. So the boys had lived here by themselves. Lived here. The girl had moved on. Mm-hmm. So we had just one in our room. So we kept the door stays closed even still now. Mm-hmm. Even now the cats are outdoor cats or not a cat. Yeah. We're down to one cat.
Somebody took Thor, the pretty one.
He probably went with him willingly.
That's true.
He was like, they're not letting me in the house.
It's okay because I know, I think I know who took him. Yeah. There was a teenager kind of chasing him around, wanting to pet him. And he is very friendly. So I'm pretty sure she took him home, which means he's getting loved and spoiled. So
I mean,
it hurts my feelings a little bit, but I think he's probably going to be happy there. I've checked all the sites. He's not been posted anywhere. And
the one Bruce, the one that's still in the garage, and we feed him and he has water, and when it gets cool,
Thor too, but he just
and when it gets cool outside, we'll plug in his little house again, and he'll live in the house, and they won't freeze. And if it gets super duper super cold, we'll have to bring him in, but.
Yeah. Hopefully. I mean, Bruce likes being outside. He's been hunting. He's brought us a bird, several gigantic
bird.
It was a giant bird.
There was just feathers all over our garage.
There's a few still in the house. I thought we got them all, but I saw one the other day.
Oh yeah.
He's brought us squirrels, mice, other types of rodents, birds, etc. So he's really loving it outside.
Evelyn says, hello, Dustin, Chandra, Cindy, Lynn, Matt, Sean. I really wish you were all here with me. I miss you, friends. I wish we were there, too.
I wish we were there, too, but that is just not in the yearly budget this year.
An Alaskan cruise. I would love to go to Alaskan cruise.
I'm also not a cruise person. It's just not. I really don't have a want.
I saw that Virgin Cruise Lines is going to have designated pineapple cruises.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we figure we'll sign up for one of those.
Not doing that. Not gonna do it. I just don't have a want to cruise. It's just not my jam.
It's 52 where they are.
Oh, nice.
That sounds perfect.
It does sound perfect for Alaska.
Erin is here, Miss Booby Goats. Booby Goats.
Hello, booby goats.
She has the best name on the internet right now.
She really does. Them goats with boobies.
And I guess Chef Ann Burrell died.
I saw that.
That's
So she was the chef with the spiky white hair.
I never.
That's not Guy Fieri.
Right. Rude. I love Guy Fieri.
I mean, they both have
Fieri.
spiky white hair. So
Fieri. I love Guy Fieri. He was on Rogan not too long ago, and I listened. Like he talked about how
he seems like a really nice guy.
He does seem like a genuinely nice guy. Like they're going down, like they're always doing stuff. Like always, if there's some kind of catastrophe, a fire, a flood, or whatever, they're going down there with stuff and making barbecue and trying to feed the first responders as well as the people in need, and they're always trying to do that kind of stuff. And he talked about how he sent in the audition tape to Food Network or whatever as a joke. He was just his persona. He's like, he did it. He's like, no one's gonna want to see me. I'm not a professional chef. I'm just basically his persona that is on Triple D is what he sent in. And they wanted him to do they had signed him up. He won the food championship or whatever. And then they gave him the show. They want him to do a gadget show where he reviewed gadgets. He's like, that's not me. I don't want to do that. I'm like, well, what about then? Months and months went by. He was like, I don't want to do a show unless it's. And then they're like, what about a show where we send you from town to town, looking at small little mom and pop places? He's like, okay, that we can do.
Yeah,
they've done like 1,400 or 14,000 restaurants or 1,400 restaurants or something crazy like that.
Yeah,
17.
That would be fun.
Or whatever. I don't know.
I would go eat a bunch of stuff, but then I'd
yeah.
probably have a heart attack and die. But whatever. You got to move along, babe. There's lots of comments you've missed.
Yeah, but they're talking to each other.
Slow.
Talking to each other. Jason's
So
here.
slow.
Hello, Jason. My friend Jason. Just Justin Keto. It's just Justin Keto. Just Jason Keto. Just joshing you, Jason. Just booby goats that said it's been raining. It's raining.
It's raining booby goats.
Mm-hmm. That didn't even make any sense.
You know what?
People are just saying hello, 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 everybody.
Should I say hello? Hello, everybody.
Stacy is here. Hello from Sticky Human, Northwest Ohio. Yuck. Grab that drink. We'll talk about that while I'm searching through this here.
Drink?
Yeah. So what we've got here in this cup, we've got it right here. It's just one of the ones that I have. But it's this. This right here.
What flavor?
It is red, white, and bam!
And it's supposed to taste like
Bomb Pops.
A bomb pop. Okay. Well, it smells like one.
You smell like one too. She doesn't like it.
Not a fan.
Oh, it smells like melted popsicle. It's so
not
good.
a fan. But I'm also not a popsicle person.
Oh, the smell is perfect.
I don't want you to be like, she hates everything, but I really don't like a lot of things.
So there's a song, right? There's a song, and the lyrics of the song is, I hate everyone on this cursed earth. And I was listening to that in the car one day with the little one, and then she was singing, she's, I hate everyone on this cursive earth.
I love it. It's my favorite.
I about crashed the car. It was so cute. I was just like, cursive earth. And I had to text you and let you know.
She is my best friend ever. Mm.
I love it. It tastes just like, not just like a bomb pop, because a bomb pop doesn't have that saltiness to it.
I'm just not a fan.
Yeah.
I would never pick a bomb pop as when the ice cream truck guy would come around. No, I'm not getting a bomb pop. Those are nasty. I wouldn't buy them at the store, and I don't want one from the ice cream guy. If I were to get an ice cream something or other, it would probably be something chocolate.
Do you know what else came out?
With stuff in it.
Have you seen this yet?
I have. I've seen it.
This right here, it's blackberry. It's kind of hard to see, but it's blackberry. You like blackberries.
I do like blackberries. Did we try that?
We have not tried this yet. I had planned to mix it up and make a shake out of it.
Didn't we try the red raspberry?
Red raspberry.
We tried that.
Yes.
Okay. So we've not tried the blackberry, so we'll be trying that maybe next week.
Funny story about this. I was upstairs and I was putting together the short that you guys have seen. If you haven't seen it yet, head on over after this is over and watch the short. It's about 20 seconds long. But I've got it all put it together, and I went into my my footage and I pulled in the footage of the keto chow, and I'm sitting here and I'm looking at it and I'm not even paying any attention to it, but I knew I had made in my mind I had taken footage of this stuff because I got it and I had it set up and I thought I'd taken footage of it, but I guess all I had done is I had taken photos of these, right, which I posted earlier today as well, because that's when the embargo was lifted today at noon ish. But I was in there and I'm sitting there looking, and it was like blackberry, and I was like, why does it say red raspberry? I had footage of red raspberry and not blackberry, so I had to come downstairs, make her some food because it was about time to feed her before she turned into a punkman or a gremlin or whatever thing she turns into.
Don't feed me after midnight.
I feed you before midnight. Don't feed me after midnight unless I'm going to be up late.
Yeah.
But just so bad. But I filmed it and then got it all put together and then got to bed. And it's supposed to go live at 12:15 p.m. But I guess I mixed it up and made it go live at 12:15 a.m. tomorrow. So I was like, I went to check on the stats to see if I'm like, why isn't it showing up yet? I messed up, but I fixed it and went live at 1 o'clock, 45 minutes late. No big whoop. No big whoop. No big whoop.
Big whoop.
Forget what that's from.
I don't know.
It's a comedian of some kind of like show. No big whoop.
Is it?
Thought I found a job for our travel industry. It was a way to overtime make a business. So I had to cancel that and start over with jobs. Oh, I've been looking, and it's just ridiculously hard to find something right now. Because either you got to have like some kind of college degree, or they want you to be a high school kid.
Yeah, well, you're not wrong.
I'm doing my best. I'm looking and looking, and
Risa's here.
Yep,
Do you not see her?
Risa is here.
You skipped her. There she is. Hello.
Risa's cluttered kitchen is probably not as cluttered as ours.
Our lives are just cluttered.
Yeah. Just going down through. She says, I'm in the middle of making some Mission Carnivore pizza crusts. It is pizza night in the Golding household. Make real flatbread pizza for the family.
Wonderful. I wish we were there. I'm kind of hungry.
Well, that's one thing we never did. We never cooked not keto for the kids.
Yeah.
They could eat it if they went out. They could eat non-keto if they went out with their dad, or they went out with their friends or whatever.
But when they were in the house, it was keto.
Yeah. I mean, they benefited from it.
Yeah. But now that the boys have moved back in, they're all junk food all the time.
Like they live on junk food.
It's ridiculous. I had to warn the youngest that even though his dad's metabolism has kicked in on him right now, there's no guarantee it's going to stay, because his dad now has basically the standard, 50-year-old beer gut looking style.
Well, he was also drinking, like her ex-husband would show up and he was drinking like extra sweet tea.
Oh yeah,
like that
you
brand.
Buy sweet tea and then add sugar.
No, it was like there's like the yellow one, which we would buy, which is the sugar-free, and there's the regular red or whatever, and he was drinking the purple, which was like extra sweet. It was like 60 some grams of carbs.
When we were younger, he would buy sweet tea and add sugar to it. Yeah.
Oh,
it was like sugar water. I never liked tea. I'll drink tea, but I'm not a fan.
I love Matt. Matt says Shander's going to be one of those stories of a person buried under their own hoarding items.
It's very possible.
I do hear.
I'm very happy letting go of them. I'm very happy selling them and making the money from it and getting it out of my house. The problem is I buy it because I know it has value, and then I'm like, I'll get to that later.
It's just a matter of time over items.
Yeah.
Because if you were, it would literally probably be a 12-hour-a-day job.
If
12 hours a day, every day.
And did it.
For over a year. She could probably do that for a year. List, photo. If I actually got in and helped take photos of everything for her, it would probably still take a year, 12 hours a day of me just taking photos and her listing.
The problem for me, though, is that
she doesn't like how I take photos.
I wouldn't mind you doing it on your own in your own eBay store.
Mhm.
But the problem is, if you're dealing with mine, I have built a reputation and I don't want it damaged. Although recently I got a negative, which is baloney, but that just frustrates the heck out of me, considering I've been doing it for I don't know how many years, and I've not had a negative that eBay wouldn't take away. And I got one a few months ago where somebody said that I sent them something dirty. And I'm like, no, I wash it or I steam it. Nothing I sell is dirty. I may have missed a stain. I may have missed a spot. If you would have contacted me, we could have done something about it. But they refused. They never responded to anything. And then I just got another one where somebody said something was dirty because it was a vintage item, and on the inside of it was a vintage sweater, and you wouldn't see anything on the outside of the sweater, but if you folded up the cuffs all the way, apparently there was staining inside here on the inside of the cuffs. You don't see that externally, and I'm not going to turn every item I sell inside out
To look for stains.
to look for
Because who
stains.
stains on the inside?
Well, and who, like, how are you gonna tell me that it's dirty when it's not dirt? It's staining, and it's so far in the cuff that you're not gonna see it when you wear it. I just, whatever. It's fine.
Mhm.
It's fine. It's fine.
Never trust a woman when she says it's fine.
And
'Cause that's
eBay will do nothing about it anymore. They won't help you negotiate to get, a deal struck between the other person. They won't remove the negative. They won't amend it. They won't anything. They said what it was, so that's whatever. But it just is frustrating. Not that you guys care. This is just frustrating.
Jason says, I do work at a lot of Goodwill stores. There are people that will spend all day in the store with stuff in their cart. They list it online. It sells. They will, if it sells, they will buy it. If not, they will put it back.
That's kind of putting a lot of weight on having sales that quickly. They must be doing something like Whatnot, which is a live selling program or app where basically you put it up and somebody bids on it and it sells right then and there. If it doesn't sell, you don't have to buy it, but you're not going to get, I won't say you won't earn a lot of money from it, because some people do earn a lot of money from it, but mostly Whatnot's clientele are other resellers. So if you buy it for $5, you might sell it for $10, but that reseller is going to take it, put it on their website, which is likely eBay, Poshmark, or Mercari, and then they are going to resell it for maybe 10 times the price because they can wait. So it's possible people can make money doing that. But if you think about your time versus money, you're spending a lot of time that's probably wasted in the Goodwill.
Because then there's a lot of stuff that may not sell right then. Whereas if you were like her, where you go in and you put your years of knowledge to use, buy only the things you think you can make X percentage of profit on.
I usually don't buy anything I can't make 4 times my money on. That doesn't mean that sometimes I don't fail. I mean, because there's always going to be room for failure. And when you're searching something on your phone, you're not necessarily getting the actual results. You're getting similar. So eBay, I don't know why, but when you're searching the app versus when you're searching on your computer, there's a very big difference between what something's actually selling for and what the app shows you. The app is showing you the highest price, regardless of how you sort the solds. Whereas if you look at it at your computer at home, you can actually see that the most recent sales weren't as high as they told you they were in the app. And I don't know how it gets away with that, because you can sort it by, most recent as opposed to highest priced, and it still will show you the highest priced things as sales. Regardless, if you spend the time shopping, so I use it also for mental health, only buying the things that you know you can resell, then list them, sell them, and wait. Because I have time to wait. I just had something that sold for, I sold a stuffed animal for $60, and it was listed for 2 weeks. But if I had bought it in the store and tried that Whatnot and listing it on, while I'm in the store, I probably wouldn't have gotten $60 for it. I might have gotten 25, but 60 is more than 25.
But that's kind of a weird scenario. Say you're shopping in the store, you find stuff, you try to get people to buy it in like whatever, like the 2 minutes or whatever you give each item. So you're basically going to go in there and get set up, get a little bit of inventory. I'm guessing how this is working. Get a little bit of inventory, start putting it up, and then you're still shopping for more stuff. All the while you're talking, it's like a constant, like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Because I knew, like, when what's it called? What's it called?
The Whatnot?
Yeah, Whatnot. I remember.
Yeah, it's a live selling platform.
Yeah, Melissa was using it for a little while and was selling stuff with her and Mikey. When they had a like a flea market lot.
Mm-hmm.
And they would sell from there. Like, oh, we've got this. Do you want this? You got the CD. You got da. It was all just random stuff. It's like, if you see anything behind me you want, let me know. We'll do it. We'll make a deal. That kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And like, I'd imagine you have to kind of get like at least about an hour worth of stuff to try to sell. But then all the while you're trying to look. And
I just think it would be complicated. I'm sure people do it and they're good at it. But I wouldn't want to work that way. On top of that, not here necessarily, but I know at the bins, there are a lot of restrictions. They won't allow you to videotape. So I don't know if the actual stores do or don't. I have my phone out basically constantly. I'm, looking up things. I use Google Lens a lot because a lot of times I'll see something and I don't even know what it is. So I'm like, what is this? Tell me, Google.
Yeah. So, yeah, but Jason's also in the Canadian provinces of Canada.
They may not have limitations on videotaping in their stores. So
look who's here.
Jaheel! Hello, we miss you.
Our good friend Jaheel is here.
We've been rambling on about
I've been sending him some of the most wild, like AI video stuff.
I don't want to know. I do not want to know.
Oh, like old people talking to each other and stuff. It's pretty wild and crazy and wild stuff. Weird, wild stuff.
Yeah. Do not want to know.
Chandra, can you send your special nurse magic to heal my knee? I'm going to the doctor tomorrow to get it checked. I can move it, walk, put weight on it. I'll put on the bad knee, but I can't do stairs. Ugh.
So definitely get it looked at. The main magic that we tell people with joint pain: rest, ice, compression, elevation. Rest, ice, compression, elevation. So those are things that you can do at home that can help. So when you're not out doing and you're at home or, whatever, rest it, don't use it, elevate it. So you want it ideally above heart level, right? So lay down with your leg up. If you can't do that, even elevating it any amount is helpful. Wear a compression wrap around the knee that's painful. If it hurts, don't do it. But if it doesn't hurt, wrap it. And then use ice 20 minutes at a time, not directly on the skin, 20 minutes at a time to help cut down inflammation. None of that is perfect, but rest, ice, compression, elevation, rice is what we do for sore, stiff joints.
You hear that,
and
folks?
And go to the doctor.
She's recommending you eat rice.
Go to the doctor.
And a keto channel.
Don't eat rice.
It is delicious.
It's an acronym.
Matt says, we were just at Hollywood Studios and Epcot today.
So jealous.
They got all the walls up around the Muppet Courtyard now and all that stuff.
It just hurts my feelings.
I think they're gonna put a show in that a Monsters Inc. show in that place.
Yeah.
So they're gonna repurpose the theater, and then they're gonna put the new coaster. They said the coaster's probably gonna be kind of short, but it's gonna be like it's gonna make you feel like you're in the big thing of all the doors.
Yeah.
And hopefully it'll be one that like most kids can ride. But she's already 47 inches tall already.
Yeah.
48 inches tall. I think the tallest ride. I think you have to be at least 54 inches to ride. I think that's the tallest you have to be.
I don't know. There's a lot of things she wouldn't ride anyway.
Yeah. Let's see. Tanya says hello. Tanya says hello.
Hello.
Let's see. Evelyn, you ought to fly into Juneau with those mountains and ocean all around. I've seen a lot while white knuckling on those landings. Tanya or every time I think about it, because I have a friend, if you call her Tanya, she's mad. And this one's Tanya, not Tanya. And it's like, but I've said Tanya for the last 25 years.
Mhm.
So I go to say it. It's like my brain goes, Tanya's not right. But Tanya,
I can't help him. He's at this stage now.
it's fine. Jahil says he can dance, but don't ask me to dance up or downstairs because my brain is like, no.
You could do the butt scoot on the stairs. That's what I do when I carry the girl up or down the
Butt scoot
stairs.
boogie.
Because I don't trust my knee to not go out while holding her. What
Yeah,
did
Carrie can do the safety dance.
Oh, safety dance.
Yeah.
Oh, safety dance.
The cruise is our vacation. Can't afford all the excursions. You guys can just leave the ship, though, I think. I don't think there has to be.
Yeah.
You can just go walk around for like hopping an Uber and go somewhere. I don't know what that costs. I mean,
I don't know.
yeah, just go away. Like,
Go
I don't.
sightseeing wherever
Yeah.
the port is. I know Juneau has a lot of stuff.
Amy said, my sister lived in Juneau and we had to do that landing. It is terrifying.
Yeah, I have a lot of interest in going to Alaska, but again, I'm not a cruise person.
Matt said, spent today at Hollywood Studios and Epcot, going to Magic Kingdom next Wednesday. We will ride a Haunted Mansion for you.
Oh, do it. I love Haunted Mansion. Go on it at least 5 times.
Better make it 6.
I mean, that you're not going to really know how much I love it unless you do it that many times. I'm telling you, that is the ride that I will ride the most. Every time I'm there, I'm like, let's do it again. There's no line. Let's go again.
My
There's
favorite
no line.
part
Let's
too
do
is
it
like
again.
when you go back, you're going back down that hill backwards, and it always pops my back. I'm like, oh yeah.
I just love everything in the room. They're in the building. There's nothing about it I dislike. I like it all.
Hell no. What the hell?
What the hell? Love it.
Travers says air conditioning is good on toast. Sherry said yesterday was 50% off day at Goodwill. We don't have that anymore.
Yeah, they got rid of all of our discounts. There's no military discount. There's no day of the week, color of the week, none of it. You can get a 10% off if you spend over $25 if you give them your phone number. That's all they have. There's nothing else.
So she said she got a 50% off day at Goodwill. Now I have a new purse, new couch cover that matches the ones I already had.
Ooh, that's lucky.
A couple of resin chair covers and some new sheets. Cleaning all day, 12,000 steps.
Nice.
And in 30 minutes, the girls and I are off to the pool in the backyard. Still too hot to go out now. Ugh, gross.
Yeah.
Later, booby goats. Later,
she left
Aaron.
like forever ago.
That's fine.
Bye, booby goats.
Yeah, that's fine. I still say bye.
We are slow, as usual.
Matt said Guy Fieri is a really nice guy. I met him while I was in the Navy. He came on our ship for a USO event. He judged a chili cook-off between the different galleys on the ship.
That's cool. He seems like a genuinely nice guy.
Jaqueline! She says, this is my first year with no central AC. I'm going to die.
You're not going to die.
We have central, but the furnace is so old the AC isn't compatible. So window units it is. Furnace is from the 1930s. It's a Chrysler.
Wow. Do you have to crank it to make it run? Like, how does that work? I didn't even know Chrysler made air conditioners.
No, it's the furnace.
Furnaces or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, mine's both. My furnace does both.
Mm-hmm.
It's heat and air.
See, Carrie says Annie Burnell did the worst chefs, where they would take the worst chefs and then turn them into better chefs. She had other stuff she would do on Food Network. I never watched that much of Food Network.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Jody, which is Jeremiah's wife, says any Goodwills around here that have 50% off? No.
They do sometimes have holiday sales when they're open on the holiday. So they wouldn't have one on July 4th because they wouldn't be open for that. But like they may have President's Day, days that they don't actually close. They might have sales on those days. They have in the past. And then once you sign up with your phone number, I think on your birthday, but you have to go on your birthday to get the discount.
What's they going to go on their birthday?
I do, but I didn't.
Well, you got someone who needs your time.
Yeah.
Very important that Ma spends her birthday.
Yes.
Jason said I get called Justin all the time. I get called Justin. I get called ugly, whatever.
Dusty.
Ugh, no.
Only when I'm being mean.
She has names I'm not even allowed to say.
True. Very true.
And they used one. They used one in How to Train Your Dragon.
No.
Evelyn says, all right, friends, it's time to head to dinner. Hugs to all of you. Love and miss you. We love and miss you too. Have fun.
Have a good dinner. Bye, Evelyn.
Look, Jeremiah's here. Jeremiah and his wife
me.
are in the building.
Hello, hello.
Hello. Let's see.
Don't. Yeah.
Let's see. Let's see. Risa says, let's see, I used to love The Worst Chefs, but I got bored with it. It stopped watching. Most of that, all those reality shows are just not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
I was at a friend's house on Saturday night, and he was watching like season 26 of Survivor, and the way they were talking about this is so boring. So boring.
I never really liked the food stuff. I like the like home stuff and decorating things, but the food stuff doesn't really get me. I don't like watching people eat.
So Borchell is asking, what is the definition of keto? The definition of keto is eating low carb, high fat. Depending on where you look, it could be high protein, moderate protein, depending. In order to be in ketosis. So what you want to be able to do is burn fat. So when you burn fat, your body then the what's left over from burning the fat is ketones. Your body is then able to utilize ketones as a fuel. So you want to be able to do that when you're not in ketosis. You're not able to do that, and most people these days are not, because they eat such a high carb diet and be in consistently high carb diets to where their insulin's never really low enough to burn fat or even be able to burn ketones. Because even when you start to produce ketones in like the first week or so of trying to get into ketosis, your body's still having a rough time transitioning fuels and being able to recognize them and utilize them. So basically, the definition of keto, I'll even pull it up.
Here, I've got it. Keto, short for ketogenic, refers to a high-fat, low-carbohydrate diet that induces a metabolic state called ketosis. In ketosis, the body depletes its carbohydrate stores and begins to burn fat for energy. This process produces ketone bodies, which are an acidic compound that accumulate in the blood and urine. The keto diet typically consists of a high fat intake, 70 to 80% of calories, moderate protein intake, and a very low carbohydrate intake, around 5 to 10%. The goal of the keto diet is to promote weight loss, improve metabolic health, and reduce seizures in some individuals.
Yeah, so
that's from AI.
That's just AI. That's just a generalized overview.
Yeah, that's just a quick down and dirty. There it is.
Amy says she loved the short.
Nice. Yeah, you're Blackberry.
Yeah, I'm funny.
He thinks he is.
Let's see. Judge all my salty and keto chow likes on Chandra and how she reacts. I haven't tried salty, but I don't like any salty drinks, so I'm kind of thinking I might not like them. Give it.
The grapefruit is very good. I very much like that.
Yeah, so she likes the grapefruit. I mean, and you have to remember, like, the more salt depleted you are, the less salty it's going to taste to you. And the more hydrated you are, the more salty it is going to taste.
Yeah.
So,
Well, and again, if you don't need it, you don't have to buy it. That's
what,
where we land.
yeah.
We want you to have these things available as needed, and if you don't need them, don't buy them.
But you can always add a sampler. I think it's like a 5-pack sampler to your keto chow order, just of like whatever their most popular flavors are, and you can. I think that's just a couple of bucks, maybe $5 or something like that. Don't quote me. I'm not sure. I think it's around $5, and you can just add that. Give them a try, and if you like them, then cool. If not, well, then
Yeah.
And you didn't have to spend $30 on a big bag or whatever.
I will say the grapefruit is the best one that I've tried yet.
Yeah.
I really like it. We even ordered it. I'm almost through the bag. We're going to need to order more.
Yeah, I'm going to order some in the next week or two.
Yeah.
As soon as I get my YouTube check.
Yes.
I will order some. Let's see. People are saying the blue raspberry would be weird. I like the blue raspberry flavor. I actually I bought a big bag of that. I bought a big bag of cherry chill.
I don't like either.
I've got a whole bunch of the Mondo melon. I really like that flavor. You don't like it much at all?
No, they're all gross.
Oh, I did get 2 more bags of liquid IV today because they were on sale for $20 a bag.
Okay.
So I figured we've been using a lot of the other ones. They'll last a while.
Yeah.
So we only try to buy the liquid IV because she likes the lemon lime.
Yeah, it comes with peach and lemon lime. You buy them through Costco. I don't like the peach. It's very sweet.
I love the peach.
Very sweet.
Yeah.
And so I
Brees is going to eat. She'll be back soon.
Enjoy your dinner. We do, or I do. We've got the true orange packs or the lemon packs, either of those. And I'll add 1 or 2 of those to it to try to cut the sweet. Because it's so, and I'm a sweets girl. And if it's too sweet for me, it's too damn much. I add extra water and some of those.
So Jason said this is marketplace sales.
Oh, wow.
And he says that most of them are just trying to make enough to have a roof over their head. They're trying to get out. Yeah. That's crazy. I never thought of it. I never thought about.
I don't know. I've tried to sell on Marketplace and it's really difficult.
So you can go live on Marketplace and do sales?
Well, they might just sell it, like take a picture of it. You don't have to go live on Marketplace. I don't know if that's a possibility.
Maybe I'm just.
But what you can do is take a picture of it and post it, and someone will say, "I'll meet you there. I'll come pick it up from you."
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like I would be off put by driving to the Goodwill to pick it up, not thinking that I could buy it from Goodwill.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know.
Amy says, I want rice. And then Tanya says, don't eat rice.
Yes, don't eat the rice.
We get rice every once in a while. We like Thai food and like I said, we're more of a consistency type of thing where, if you want to remain like 90 to 95% consistent and you eat 2 meals a day, then that's like 100 meals a year where you can have outside of a ketogenic or carnivore lifestyle. But I said, that's everybody's mileage is going to vary on what their goals are, what their circumstances are. If you are battling some, autoimmune, then obviously then that kind of thing isn't for you. It's just a matter of, we've been doing this for 9, almost 10 years now. So, we've made certain concessions and we've had to make modifications to how we live our life to maintain the consistency that is 10 years. Because it's a lot different if you're in the 3rd week versus your 5th year or even your 6th month. Everything that we did in the beginning is not what we do now necessarily, because one, we've learned new things, new information's come to light. There's been new things that has happened to us. Like when we first started, we ate a lot of pork. And nowadays, pork doesn't agree with us very much. We have more issues with the pork. So it might be just that there was a lot of other issues that we were battling, and so we didn't realize it was the pork, or the pork would just kind of was in line, waiting behind the other things that were bothering us. And then when we kind of cleared those out, then the pork was like, our turn. I don't know. But, like how we ketoed in the very beginning and how we keto now are very different. The lifestyles that we live and we have transitioned into different things over the years. And we've been very strict. In the very beginning, we were very, very, very strict. I think really because we were afraid of being kicked out of ketosis. And that whole thing, which I think is kind of I don't think you should ever fear being kicked out of ketosis, because generally your body kind of shuffles in and out of it throughout the day anyway. Even if you are living a relatively clean, consistent keto lifestyle, I think your body isn't going to maintain that because you still have glucose needs. Your brain still needs glucose. You still need, I mean, granted, your body can make that as necessary, but then where there's glucose manufacturing, is there also insulin secretion? There's all these things that you have to take into account. And I don't necessarily think that being kicked out of ketosis on a if and you're living a consistent keto lifestyle is all that much for concern. And like I said, I'm not a doctor or anything like that, but we've been doing this for a long time, and in the very beginning, in like the first few weeks, if we did kind of get kicked out of ketosis or we had something, we really felt it. And now it's more along the lines, we eat a big meal and it's really bad. Do we feel it? But generally, we don't feel things like, I don't ever feel bad after having sushi or after having Thai food. I don't get weird feelings in my knuckles. But if we have pizza, I do. Or if we have like mac and cheese, I
Like real
do.
trash.
Like real like bad food for us, I really do feel that in my joints. So you kind of have to feel out what makes you feel bad, what doesn't, what helps you stay on track. Because I would say for us, living the lifestyle that we do and maintaining a ketogenic lifestyle for over almost coming up on 10 years, because we're in 2025, we started in 2016. So, next year will be 10 years, but coming up on that, like, what keeps us consistent enough to stick with this and not give it up and walk away? I think you have to look at that, and I think you have to judge for yourself and really get to know your situation. And it's not something you can do in the first few weeks, first few months, maybe even the first year or so. But when you've been living a lifestyle for almost 10 years, you kind of begin to learn your own ins and outs. What do you think?
I'm sorry, I was reading something else.
Nice. See how she loves you guys?
I do love you guys. I was actually looking at the next comment. This one.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say Scott says hello from Colorado. I want to make sure we say that.
Hello, Scott.
So Borchelle
Says that the rice protocol was debunked by science some years ago. Actually, it's not been debunked. It has changed and adapted. It's still utilized for acute injuries, but now.
So kind of give us a what is it and why would it? What
So
kind of
rice
injuries?
was the rest, ice, elevation, and rest, ice, compression, and elevation. It has not been debunked. It is still utilized for fresh injuries. And I worked on an ortho floor for 3 years, and I guess it's now been 3 years ago, and we were still utilizing all of those post-operatively: rest, ice, compression, and elevation. But now the newer suggestion as of 2023, so it's only 2025, so that's not that long ago, is peace and love. So protection, that says it doesn't necessarily mean rest, still the same thing, don't overdo it. Elevation, which is part of rice. Activity modification, so modify your activities. Compression, still part of rice. Education, so educate about the healing process. And then love, maintaining a positive attitude. So the only thing really not that they're not recommending anymore is ice, and that's because it can constrict blood flow. However, if you're having swelling and you're having pain, you should still be icing it. That's my opinion. Obviously, I'm not the end all be all, but I will say, like I said, I did work on an ortho floor. We sent people home with ice cuffs for legs so I'm not the end all be all of all science, but it has not been debunked. That's not a thing.
Robin is in the house. Hey, yo, hopping over from the cookout. Oh, Russ is a good friend of the channel. We love Russ. We love Russ so much.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. And Jahil says, thank you, Shander. I'm going to eat rice because I'm a bad listener. Joking
fair.
aside, I've been doing those things and it's healing. Just can't do stairs yet, so better to check just in case.
And you can always ask if you can get a physical therapy referral and see about, because what happens in your body is that you'll have an injury. Doesn't matter where your injury is. and you might make adjustments in your movements for said injury. And unfortunately, what happens is those body movement changes often become habit, and then you don't realize it. And some years can pass, and you're still babying that joint, that sore area. And you may not realize that that's what's happening at the time. So, seeing a physical therapist, they can give you exercises and work that you can do to help improve the movement in whatever area needs it, and help you to not further injure the already problem area, and hopefully be able to work toward improvements in strength in other areas so that you're not babying the joint. I have bursitis in my left hip, and I spoke with one of the physical therapists when I was on the ortho floor, who gave me a list of exercises to work on, because I started having bursitis after my first child was born, which was over 20 years ago. And I basically baby that joint.
30.
All right, knock it off. I basically baby that joint. I baby that hip, and everything else has taken over. You know, I'm much stronger on the right than the left, and I walk in a particular manner where, even though I don't realize it, I'm babying that left hip. And so I have to work on these exercises frequently to make sure that when I go to use the left side, it's functional. Because the reason I asked was, I was walking down the stairs one day, and it was as if my left leg was not there. It literally went out from underneath me. I fell down the stairs. I was lucky. I basically, both of my knees bent, and I went flying down the stairs, leaning backwards, so I didn't hit my head going forward. And I'm unfortunately, or fortunately, exceptionally flexible for my size. And I just sort of skied down the stairs on my knees and really wasn't hurt. Got up, went to work. But
I was like, what is happening?
yeah,
Because I could hear, by the time you're hearing it, it's done.
right. But that hip, I just didn't realize it's painful because of the bursitis, which is inflammation at the sac around the joint. And I did not realize that I've been babying it, but it's hurt for over 20 years. And it doesn't hurt, but it hurts. You know, it's just sort of that
Like
ache you get
and if
used
I
to.
use the massage gun on her, that's just,
Oh God, I feel like I'm going to just exit my body. It's so much pain. But you know, a physical therapist will help you to recognize, you know, what movements will help your joint and help you to not necessarily baby said joint. And then, you know, obviously talking to your doctor, but you can always get a physical therapy referral. They should do whatever the doctor thinks is necessary as far as like imaging, etc. And, you know, evaluate what they tell you. But physical therapy, if they're recommending it, it can be very beneficial.
so Jahil is asking, what summer movies are we looking forward to? I'm already seated for Superman and Naked Gun. So Superman looks okay.
It looks interesting, to say the least. We just watched
How to Train Your Dragon.
How to Train Your Dragon and the new Lilo and Stitch. Now, I will tell you that the Lilo and Stitch
was better than I thought it was going to be.
is better than we thought it was going to be, but it was still not nearly as good as the animated movie. I don't think they developed the characters as well, and I think they left out important parts to the story that were like, they spent too much time on how the relationship developed with the caseworker and not enough time developing the relationship between the sisters. So I feel like that it was okay.
And there was like too much. There was too much going on between Jumba and Pleakley.
Yeah, there was just too much happening for them to really develop the characters in and of themselves as they did in the cartoon. And then we watched the How to Train Your Dragon, and I was surprised that was as good as it was.
Oh, it was very well
I'm
done.
still disappointed in their main character pick. He did great, but I hear the voice of, what is his name? Let me Google. How
It's like Jay or something like that.
to Train Your, oop, that's not Train Your Dragon. Cast Jay Baruchel. I probably said that wrong.
Yeah.
Baruchel. Well, anywho,
Mm-hmm.
he was just so good. His voice is just, it's what I hear. And the kid who played him
Was good.
was good. He just
But he
wasn't
wasn't
the
as
same.
nerdy
It
as
wasn't
Jay was.
and it wasn't as funny. The
Right.
timing of him saying the lines, it was off. It just wasn't funny. And How to Train Your Dragon, the cartoon version, was funny. It was good. So I don't know. That's just our opinions. But I did like both of them better than I thought I would.
Oh, yeah.
Of the two, the How to Train Your Dragon one is better.
And I knew How to Train Your Dragon would probably do well in theaters, and I think it's exceeding even some of the expectations because I am a part of some different channels that I frequent. I not necessarily on the channels, but I frequent being in their chats and such. And I think they were figuring that it might do better than Lilo and Stitch, but I kind of thought it would probably do better than Lilo and Stitch. But I thought it was well done, better than Lilo and Stitch. There was an emotional connection with the live action that didn't exist with the animated version to me. There was an emotional like I never felt as emotional as I was in that movie.
In How to Train Your Dragon?
Yes, I felt that this movie brought more emotional context to me than the
You also aren't a cartoon person.
I love cartoons. What are you
not
talking
like
about?
that?
Cartoons will make me emotional to a degree, but not as much as live action does. But then again, like we just rewatched today Nimona, which I love that movie.
Oh, that's such a good movie.
But I don't know about what I'm really looking forward to. Like there's a lot of things coming out that look like they may be good, but there's just a lot of weird art house horror movies coming out. And maybe that's just kind of what's being shown to me. But I watch a lot of the YouTube content that shows you they like lump all the trailers together into one video. So then you can just kind of go and just scroll over and they're like they've got them like not bookmarked but time stamped, so you can just go through and see all the different trailers. And I know that the trailer for I've seen the trailer for The Long Walk. I'm not necessarily looking forward to that movie. I don't even know if I'll watch it because I had a hard enough time reading the book. The book was a very tough read emotionally. It's a very emotional book. And I can only imagine that if they did half as well with the movie as Richard Bachman did with the book, I think it will be a movie that'll stick with you for a while. If they, I mean, I don't know how well they'll do or whatever, but we'll have to wait and see if I ever kind of get balls enough to watch it. But I just kind of figure that there's so many movies coming out, but I don't necessarily think most of them will be ones I'll want to see in the theaters. I don't know what's going to get me out of the theater. I don't know if Superman will get us in the theater. I don't know what else is coming out that I haven't been aware of. Most of the things that I do want to watch will probably be streaming offerings. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Fantastic Four does not look good to me.
I remember watching the original,
There's
not
been
the
like 3 or 4 of
the
them.
one that came out probably in the early 90s.
Late 90s, I
Late
think.
90s.
Yeah.
I don't know. I remember watching that. It was okay. It just, I think they've done so many superhero movies at this point that I just don't. None of the new characters I care about. And I know Fantastic Four is not new.
No.
But I just.
It is a fatigue because we were so invested in that first
Avengers.
Like a first 22 films or whatever of.
And some of the shows. Like we tried.
Oh, it was just so much fatigue. And that's how I feel with Star Wars now. There's so much. It's like you can't get away from it. Like you almost has to encompass your life. And I'm like, I've got stuff to do. I can't, like, we can barely finish a series or TV shows that we are looking forward to watching. We'll start things and never get back to them. Like we started, like there's so much we just can't. And I'm like, wait, when is season 5 of Stranger Things coming out? Like it's been like 15 years. It's been 7 years ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
All the characters are going to be in their 40s.
The characters are all like, you know, they're like beer guts and white beards. So like, what's going on? I'm here for 9th grade. It's crazy. Carrie's out of here. Have a good night, my friend.
Have a good night, Carrie. We're slow. We're
Yes,
way
we are.
behind.
I'm not, and I'm also not. I'm like, okay, so they've taken like they do weird stuff to movies, and I don't know why they do it. I don't know if they do it to just upset the core fans. They make these weird changes that will upset the core fans, the fans of the comic books, and they make these changes that the average person probably cares not about. They do weird like I think the main character has always been like the guy, the professor, the doctor guy or whatever, and they're making the main character, the leader of the group, the woman. Now, does that matter in everyday society? No. But if you're a person who's been following that comic book for 50 years, that's going to irritate you, and that's who they're hoping show up. They want all of the comic book nerds to show up.
The nerd core is strong.
Yes.
You got to feed the nerd core.
You got to give the nerds what they want, but I feel like for a long time in the Marvel universe and all the movies, they were really leaning into the nerd core. The core of the nerds that were, I mean, you know, and I say nerds lovingly and
because
not
we are nerds.
We are we were looking forward, and we would go and buy the tickets in advance. I really wanted
to watch How to Train Your Dragon.
We
because
did.
I loved the movies.
I left,
and I even read the book with my son.
I left out of here.
Love it.
I left out of here to go buy tickets, so we didn't have to pay service fees.
Yeah,
because it was saving us like $10 or $12. We love that stuff, but play into who we are.
Right.
And I understand you've got to make some concessions to draw in new audience people.
We don't give as much of a crap about that.
Some things bother me.
There are a few things, but for the most part, it doesn't bother us very much. We're pretty easygoing.
But changing who the boss is, like who the leader of the group is kind of weird. But I mean, there are certain things that they do, and I'm like, I don't know why they're doing that. Because it's almost like they're trying to piss off like the core audience that will show up.
They spend billions of dollars on merch and conventions and everything. Like, try not to piss them off.
But because then you make them mad. They don't go see the movie, and the people you were trying to maybe attract, they didn't care in the first place.
The Star Wars crap. You know where you lost me? You lost me when you did the last Skywalker.
The Last Jedi.
The bull. Absolute bull. How did she become the last guy? No. You don't. I'm done. I don't want to watch anything else from Star Wars again because you messed it up. You screwed it up. That's terrible. That was awful. What's her name walking away as the freaking Jedi and she
was Palpatine's kid and not a I don't know. It was weird.
She killed off Adam Driver. Well, I guess he kind of died. Whatever. And she took his last name. No. I'm sorry. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You done messed it up, and I don't want to watch. I'm done. That made me angry. Sorry.
Jackie said there's no crank. Runs like a champ, but efficiency is not the best, but afraid to replace it because it's made in the time when it was meant to last. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Like, yeah.
That's fair. I mean, I would probably be afraid to replace it, but I'd also, is there even anybody who can work on it? Like, is anybody still alive who knows how to work on it?
Cindy says red, white, and bam! Salty is great, and blue slushy is good too.
Not my faves.
Yeah. Brian Doyle is in the house. Hello, all. If you get a chance, you should watch Dr. Boz live from today. Very good talk about GLP-1s that explains it perfectly. Okay, yeah, we'll take a look at that and see what she says. I don't know when I'll get to it.
It's on the list.
It's on the list with so much stuff.
Sean's go to bed.
Good night, Sean.
Have a good night.
You and Shell, good night.
Rest.
Let's see. It's been a weird day, Cindy. Thanks for asking.
Well, I hope weird isn't terrible.
Yeah. Well, since you ask, I had cottage cheese in my eggs yesterday. No excuses except I didn't feel well and I was being a baby about it. That's fine.
It's adjustable. You can always get back and try it again the next day.
So I was upset on Father's Day because our daughter she's an emotional grump, and as much as she cares for me, it's hard for her to be, maybe you can explain it better than me.
She's like I am, where she really dislikes showing emotion.
Yeah.
It's very uncomfortable. We dislike doing it. And she struggles very hard with putting other people first. And so she didn't call or do anything.
I was like, "Are
for
you guys coming
Father's
over?" And didn't
Day.
have the girl call me or anything.
Yeah.
And then when the girl came over, she took a page out of mommy's book and goes, "You're not even a father."
Yeah. So it's very frustrating. And
She's 6. I don't blame her,
yeah.
but it hurts nonetheless. It does sting when she says things, and I'm like, it's okay.
Yeah. So my daughter is a little standoffish, just kind of in general.
And she's like, I didn't even call my real dad. I'm like, I get that,
Yeah.
but like,
Well, and
I understand, but at the same time, like, I'm an emotional person.
yeah.
And like, at least text me, hey, happy Father's Day.
Well, I'll tell you, she cried in the car today.
Yeah.
And was so angry at herself for crying. She was like, I hate this. This is the worst. I hate crying. And I'm like, I understand, dear. I do. I hate crying. It is the worst thing that ever, literal ever. I would rather, if I'm going to cry, I would rather somebody like come and cut off a part of my body for me to have a reason to cry. I hate, hate, hate crying.
I was a baby, and I got the things that, like, I got weird comfort food instead. And I know that's bad, but I got that thing of popcorn, and I got myself some imitation crab legs.
Yeah.
Cooked them in butter and heavy cream and a lot of garlic. They were delicious.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, is like, that's my whole thing, is like, it is very difficult when things like that truly bother me, because then I was here left to my own devices. No one else was here.
Yeah.
And I had to go to the store. I had to get stuff for the girl for this week.
And I had to work.
And you're at work, and I understand that. And that doesn't bother me. And usually, like, when it's your work days, I'm okay with being predominantly by myself.
Mm-hmm. But you thought there would be something.
I thought they would show up and, like,
or at least call, for goodness sakes.
Text. At least text.
The boys did.
Yeah.
So there's that. But it happens. We all fall off the wagon, and then you just hop right back on. Do it again.
Yeah.
Keep trying. Every day it's effort. That's all it is. Every day it's a choice.
Tanya says cheese is my weakness. I didn't know how strong it was until one bad day, but right back to strict BBB&E.
See, that's all you got to do.
And I knew going into this month, I didn't really, because I mean, we
said we were going to do it, but we knew we had some exceptions that were going to happen regardless.
Because our birthdays,
didn't realize Father's Day was going to fall on there, but that's
I never even think about Father's Day, to be honest with you, because it's kind of like,
well, and they've done well the other years, so
it's just not a thing that I've really concerned myself with, because and not to be dramatic, but stepdads do take a back seat, because even like Father's Day, even if you have not a great original father, they still swoop in and get the glory on Father's Day. Usually they're getting calls or cards, or you go see them or whatever. And it's like, okay, I get it. But stepdads kind of get the shaft a little bit. I'm not trying to be overly dramatic, because I know that that's not always the case. And I understand kids have their emotional attachment. I would never, ever say anything bad about their dad to them, even now. Mm-hmm. It's not my place. And I mean, how they feel about their father is their own business, and he brings on whatever he gets on his own. And the same thing about me. And, and it just kind of got me in my feels a little bit. And I was just like,
yeah.
And then, like, my mom is also like, it's been 12 years she's been gone. And June is the year she passed away, or the month that she passed away. You know what I'm trying to say?
So everything's hidden.
June is and then my birthday is still to come up. It doesn't happen until the 25th. So, yeah.
Yeah, all in the fields.
We'll celebrate my birthday next Tuesday. My birthday's next Wednesday, but we'll talk about that. Rick is in the house. Good evening, Rick. Mr. Twinbrook Acres.
Thanks for joining us. So, Tanya, yeah, it's all, like Cindy says, it's all about getting right back at it. Mm-hmm. You'll be fine. One day is not the worst.
Visual Keto says, catching up on replay. Chandra and Shirley are going to need to be mentors for me someday, because I got a lot of stuff. Future eBay.
Well, I can teach you how.
It's true.
It does take work.
A lot of work.
Yeah.
Tanya says, Cindy, I'm glad I had the chance to confess to you, and everybody thanks. And that's what we're here for. None of us are perfect.
Oh Lord, if I was perfect, I wouldn't I wouldn't be me. Oh.
Jason says, can't wait for Spaceballs. Should be Spaceballs 3, the quest for Spaceballs 2. But I digress. I just hope that
all right, Mr. Have to be right.
I am. I hope that Mel Brooks is alive long enough to at least film his stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah, hopefully that Mel, because he's like 98 years old right now.
Yeah.
And if it's not coming out for another 2 years,
yeah,
that's a stretch.
You never know.
Yeah, I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying, like,
he might beat Betty White's record.
Yeah, and Rick Moranis is coming out of retirement. Mel Brooks is 98 years old. Ludicrous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, let's see. Jason says, the only movie I want to see is Mission Impossible, only because we saw the first part. Nothing else these days interests me.
You know, I really thought I would have some sort of interest in Mission Impossible, but I haven't watched any of them.
Like the
and I
first
haven't really
3 were pretty good.
cared about them. I don't know why.
We
I like action movies for the most part. I just haven't really cared.
Saturday night we watched the movie Plane, like Airplane, just Plane, and it's got what's his name in it?
I didn't watch it.
The dad from How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah, but I can't.
Gerard Butler. It's got Gerard Butler and the guy that was Luke Cage and an Evil. I think we talked about some of this on Sunday, but that was an okay movie. It was a perfect Netflix movie. You just put it on. We watched it. We didn't have to really totally pay attention to it. It was nice.
Yeah.
Jahil says, if you haven't yet watched Sirens on Netflix.
Oh, that looks good.
Hopefully we'll see it.
Yeah. Looks good. And I like the idea of a limited series, so you're not waiting for more to come out.
Like what we thought was a limited series with the what was that movie, that show we just watched with it was the 4 seasons.
Yes, 4 seasons was very good.
Yeah, watch that on Netflix.
It takes a twist that you're not prepared for.
Right.
I'm just putting that out there. The ending is not a twist that you're not prepared for, because by the time you get there, you kind of know it's going to come. But it takes a twist. You're like, whoa.
Right.
It's good. 4 seasons, and it's on Netflix.
And there's a movie from the 70s by the same name. Yeah. I think it's kind of based on that. We'll have to watch that. Because that's got your lady in it, the redhead. Had to go bathroom.
Ooh, Carol Burnett?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. We might need to watch that. I love Carol Burnett.
Wellen says, yep, we had someone out a few months ago to service it. He brought a noob with him to show him so we should be good. That's good.
Nice. I was thinking, it's such old technology. Maybe everybody's gone.
Jerry for $10.
Thank you so much.
Hello, Dustin. Hello to you and Shander. Sorry for being late to the party. Just wanted to say thank you for coming back into the group that we were talking about. I was telling you all about it.
Yeah.
I got kicked out before I realized it was even in. And
well, I mean, he is pretty uncool.
I am a little like spacey, but I did put it on my home screen. I still didn't turn on notifications because I hate them, but I will click on it a couple times a day. Just coming back in the group, I appreciate your teaching me all the things techie. Hugs. Well, you're so very welcome.
That's
Thank you
nice.
so much.
Thank you, Jerry.
And Brenda Foley is in the house.
Well, hello, Brenda. Thank you for joining us.
Live Kate +8. No, I ain't late. Late. I just said it like Nathan Lane. Late. Anyway, yes. I love Nathan Lane. He's a grazing. He's a grazing. He's a grazing.
He is a grazing.
There's a show for you on Hulu. Mid-Century Modern with Nathan Lane.
Yeah.
That's a good show.
That is very good. We like that one.
Yeah. Hopefully there's a season 2.
Yes.
I understand that step parenting thing. I have 5 step kids and they never acknowledge me for anything. It's like I never existed. Even they grew up in my house. I stopped letting that bother me years ago. And they're not that bad. It's only kind of like Father's Day. Like, I mean,
they remember you at Christmas and on your birthday, and it's just
the father thing is hard.
Well, and I think it's hard for them too.
Yeah.
Because it isn't
because they have to deal with it.
Their dad is not a good dad. And I don't mean to say that to be a bad or a spiteful person. I've always tried to tell them.
You guys got divorced for a reason.
I've always tried to tell them that there are certain things that he can't help. And he does have mental illness and it is difficult for him. So to try not to take everything personally from him, um, because he does behave in ways that are very odd and often hurtful. And so I have tried to help them to just see him as doing the best that he can. And it hurts them, I think, even thinking about Father's Day, because he is not a good dad and he has done a lot of damaging things to them. And so, even though you're here, and even the boys will say you're the best dad they've ever had, and even though Hunter will say you're basically the only dad he's ever had, because for the longest time he told all of his friends he had no father, it's still hard for all of them to even consider Father's Day. For years, they would get me things for Father's Day to tell me that I'm the best father they've ever had.
Because a long time for me, I didn't even celebrate Father's Day because my father has never been there for me. And the few times in my life where he's tried to be there for me, it was almost just self-serving. He
Mhm.
wanted to, so he would feel better, not because he necessarily wanted a relationship with me. Maybe that's a part of it, but it's just one of those things that just never worked out. Like it's never been a good thing for us to be around each other. So I never really much paid attention to Father's Day. And now that I have put so much effort and time and love into your kids and our granddaughter, now it's really begin to mean something to me.
Yeah.
And it just bothers me. Like if it would have been before, it never would have bothered me. I would have cared. I would have went about my day like it never. Many a Father's Day, it was just a day that there was a sale at the store, like a hardware store had a sale because somebody's going to get a toolbox or whatever, right?
Right.
So for a long time, it never was a thing because you know what, my brother's dad's been more of a dad to me than anybody else, but even still, we have a strained relationship. I mean, he's a severe alcoholic, and there's a lot of issues there, and like I tried calling him on Father's Day, he didn't answer, and I tried to get a hold of Brandon, and I was like, "Is he sober today?" And he goes, "Nope." So I was like, "I'm not going to go over there and deal with that." And
Yeah.
I was hoping to go over there and see him, but then things worked out the way they did, and I ended up napping most of the day. I got my actual sleep during the day.
That's a good Father's Day.
Yeah, it was. I did sleep. It was nice. I had some good sleep. Like normally, I get up like every 2 hours to go potty, and I slept for like 6 hours.
Nice.
So not a full night's sleep, but really good deep. Like I woke up like, ooh, I didn't get to go potty. It was pretty nice, and I didn't have an
But
accident.
yeah, Father's Day is hard. It's
Yeah.
tricky, and especially around here, I think it's not always going to be good.
Risa says that she loves the blue slushy and the new salty too. Let's see. Brenda says I woke up. I pray I can go back to sleep. Well, I hope you get a good night's
We
sleep.
hope you get some good sleep, Brenda.
Yeah. Risa says, my son didn't say Happy Father's Day to my husband on Sunday, and he did the same thing with me on Mother's Day too. He is neurodivergent. He doesn't think of doing those things. Yeah, I get that
Yeah.
too. And you have to understand who your kids are and meet them where they are. It's like this, like our lifestyle, whether you're strict keto, carnivore, whatever. We have to, as influencers, if you want to call us that, or people in the spotlight, people who do lives and make content, we have to meet the people who watch our content where they are. People who are in our groups, the people who are looking to us for help and that may not do things exactly as you think they should. We have to meet them where they are. We really do, because no one's perfect. I mean, people are going to have bad days and people are going to revert to old habits, and hopefully that's just for a day. Maybe it's for a half a day, maybe it's just for a fleeting moment.
Well, and I don't think there's any way in your mind or on this planet that you could think that the kids don't love you.
I know.
They
I know they do, but at the same time, it's like the day, and you're like, oh, well, they didn't send, like when I sent a text to the group chat, well, we're out doing this right now. Like, I mean, they did go for Harley and his stuff, and I was like, but I didn't know that at the time, but still they were out. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's
I
little
know.
things, and there's like, okay.
I just don't know.
And there's other reasons involved that we can't quite talk about yet.
Yeah. I don't know that it's intentional on her behalf.
I don't think it's necessarily intentional, but sometimes unintended things hurt you.
Have consequences.
Yes.
I know that.
Sherry says, however, I do know that if I show up on their doorstep, they would welcome me in with open arms. They just don't put it in effort to contact me. Well, I'm sorry about that, Sherry.
That stinks.
Yeah. Bride's Biscuit says, sup, fam?
Thank you for joining us.
Step parenting is a thing I've never done. To Brenda,
It's hard. It's hard being a step parent. I'm not even a step parent, and I can tell you it's hard.
I mean, I came up through the ranks, I'll tell you.
Woo, they started off mean, didn't they?
Yeah.
Oh, they were rough. They were really aggressive at first. It was like stepping into a bunch of feral, Oh, she said is the hardest thing.
Oh, the hardest thing. Yeah.
The hardest thing she's ever done.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard.
Sherry says, I lost my adopted daughter 30 years ago because she didn't call me on Mother's Day. Ex reamed her for hurting me and she walked away, never to return. It used to tear me up, but I can't change it.
I'm sorry,
oh my
Sherry.
Goodness gracious.
That has to be
so very sorry.
hard.
That would hurt me so bad. I wouldn't recover.
Yeah.
I have a bad day when the 6-year-old's like, you're not my best friend, Paul.
Yeah. That's one of the things so when our daughter had my granddaughter, our granddaughter, I explained to her before she ever had her and after she had her that she will never take her away from me. That's never going to happen. I don't care how mad you are at me. I don't care if you never want to talk to me again. You will not take her out of my life for any reason. It doesn't matter what it is. And she was like, I promise. And I was like, you have to understand that I don't think I could survive that. I think that would be, the worst thing.
Like even just
ever.
her not being here on Saturdays and Sundays, it's rough.
It's so hard.
We're so thankful sometimes when she goes home.
Well, she's such a whirlwind and she's so wild and she's so hard sometimes just to manage. But when she goes home, there's like this,
I wonder what she's doing.
Then 5 minutes later, I wonder what she's doing. When is she coming back again? What are we going to do with her tomorrow?
Yeah.
Well, do we have enough food for her?
So this is a thing.
And talk about all the things that she did throughout the day.
So this is a thing that happened. So yesterday, our daughter wasn't feeling good, and she had mentioned that she was going to work. She was like, "Oh, I don't feel good," and then she had texted her throughout the day saying, "Well, I'm not going to go to work tomorrow," but she never conveyed this message to me.
I kind of forgot.
I hear you, but we made plans to do stuff with the girl today after her knowing that she wasn't coming here today.
I kind of forgot.
I'm up, and then I wake up every day about around 6 o'clock with or without an alarm. And I woke up to go potty about 5:45, and I sat in the bed and waited. I went downstairs and I unlocked the door, made sure the alarm was off. And then I went back upstairs and I sat on the bed and waited and looked at my phone until about 6:10, and they hadn't called yet. So I called them, and she's like, "What do you want?" And I was like, "It's 6:10." And she goes, "And we're not coming over there today."
Yeah.
And
I had forgotten.
And I was like, okay. So I went. It was a little bit of a struggle for me to go back to sleep because I'd been awake so long.
And then later I was like, maybe we didn't solidify that plan. Oh no, she solidified the plan at 5 o'clock in the evening when I was talking to our other son. And I was just distracted enough to not recall. Yeah. That's all. It just was fine. Everybody was up at 6. It's not a big deal.
And Amy says she's a stepmom and understands. And she says, my stepkids were aggressive to me too in the beginning. Now they love me. I mean, they love me as well as they can. But they wrote me letters.
They love you. They were just aggressive, feral children. Well, my daughter had it in her head that one day I was going to take their dad back. And that will never happen. That would never happen. It's not possible.
I mean, I even invite him over. I make sure if he doesn't have somewhere to be on a holiday, he can come here. Christmas, Thanksgiving, I don't care.
And that's fine. And we'll all figure out how to get along. But I don't
have a problem getting along with him in short doses. I don't know how I would be along if he decided to move in and slept between us or something.
If he decided to move in, I'd decide to move out. That's pretty much how it goes.
Yeah.
I could never deal with him again. but she for a long time was convinced that Dustin was in the way of me getting back with their dad, which was not ever the case. Not ever the case. So, and when they're teenagers, they're mean. They're just mean. Teenagers are mean people. Not always. Not always. Some of them are good, but some of them are just mean. Sometimes for no reason.
Oh, my goodness. And Jerry says, yeah, where step parenting is indeed tough. Been there, going through that now. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we send you love. Step parenting is tricky.
Jaqueline says, I have an awful habit of not saying happy birthday and holidays and stuff because out of sight, out of mind, I forgot it was Father's Day until I saw a post on Facebook and have to phone reminders.
You know what?
I have
actually gotten to the point where if it's important enough, I'll put an alarm in my phone because I won't necessarily remember it. Like for my parents' birthdays and things like that, because they don't live here, so I don't see them. And again, out of sight, out of mind.
And they don't social media. They don't.
Right.
They're not really involved in our life on a week-to-week, month-to-month basis.
Yeah.
We may hear from them every other month.
And I have to make sure I remember to call them. I'll often text in the group text, but I don't always remember to call them. So I have to give myself a reminder to call them. I feel that.
Cindy says, we are a blended family. My boys absolutely love Brian. I don't see how anybody could not love Brian.
Right.
As his daughter does me. We hear from them sometimes via text, messenger, Facebook posts. Yeah, and that's fine. Like our kids don't do social media. They barely can text.
Well, they do social media with their friends.
They don't. They do like
Snapchat,
Discord, and all that stuff.
And
they play video
talk
games
on the video games with each other.
But they don't do Facebook and Instagram. No. They're like, that's all dead to them.
Yeah, they don't phone call. They don't call.
They're like anxiety ridden about phone calls, especially Hunter.
Yeah,
I was like, just call and ask. Why would I can't do that. What do you mean?
They rarely pick up the phone. Now, they will answer if I call them because I will call and call and call and call until they answer. And then I will give them the Jewish guilt trip. I will on and on about how you don't love your mom. And they hate hearing it. So they will answer. They definitely, I call in all of my ancestors when we talk about how you just don't love your mom, obviously. Mm-hmm. And they'll pick up the phone because they don't want to hear me say it.
And Sherry says, I will never recover. I just have learned to accept it. Accept what I cannot change. It is almost like dealing with a loss when someone dies. Oh, I couldn't imagine.
I'm so sorry, Sherry.
I'm so very sorry, dear.
Just send her a hug.
Never, ever, ever getting back together. Ooh.
Yes, my ex-husband. Never, never. Not even a deathbed. Never.
Jaqueline has got to head into work. We love you, Jaqueline.
We love you, Jackie. Have a good night.
Hope everyone has a good night. On a happy note, officially full-time at my job. So yay, PTO. Fantastic. Woo! Congratulations.
Way to go, PTO.
And Brenda says that all her days run together, so I can understand forgetting special days.
Yeah. Yeah, I have to make it a point to leave myself reminders for things like that.
Right.
Because I don't think about it either.
Yeah.
Birthdays and stuff like that. If it's not in my phone, it's probably not happening.
Well, we do things. We have calendars. We have a shared calendar. So if I have something I need to do, it goes in the calendar. So she won't know what's happening, but it'll be there for her to go, I didn't even bother to look.
Yeah. Well, that happens sometimes.
Yeah.
Oi, what time is it?
It is.
Oh my goodness, it is so late.
All right. Well, we're going to say goodbye.
I still have more work to do.
I need to eat something. I haven't eaten today.
I could probably eat something.
What do you want?
I don't know. Feed your fat girl.
All right, I'll feed you, baby. I just want to feed you.
I just need to eat. We love you all. Have a wonderful night.
Thank you again, Jerry, for the super chat. We truly appreciate you.
Thank you so much, Jerry. Everybody have a good night. We love you. See you next Tuesday.
I will see you on Sunday. Anyway, we love you. Enjoy the credits, everybody.
Bye, guys.